Hey everybody, welcome back to Buckeye Barbecue. Today we're going to do a cowboy cut ribeye. It's about 2 inches thick and the bone is in. We're going to do this on the Weber smoke fire to cook it low and slow up to about an internal temperature of 110. And then we're going to move it to the PK 360 charcoal grill using grill grates, and we're going to sear it off. And then we'll go back to the smoke fire to take it up to the internal we want it, which will be between 125 and 130 is the way we like it. So let's get going. All right, everybody. I've got this piece of meat unwrapped. And by the way, this is from Porter Road. You've heard me mention Porter Road on other videos. I like to get meat there. I certainly get it from the local grocery store too. But Porter Road has excellent cuts of meat. Prices are a little more expensive, I guess, than your local grocery store, but the quality is there, and they also have some unique cuts of meat, which is great. I did a pork brisket the other night. I've never seen that anywhere except online, so they do have some unique and butcher type cuts of meat. So I certainly encourage you to visit Porter Road. I'll put a link to Porter Road in the description. I'm not sure I've ever done that before. So definitely check them out. They have subscription boxes, which I don't do, but you can also buy individual cuts of meat, ground beef, things like that as well. So check them out. I had my knife out because I didn't know if I'd want to do some trimming, but actually, I'm not seeing anything I want to take off of this. That's a beautiful view of the spinalis there. That's probably one of my favorite parts of a ribeye is that upper part. It's also, if you're doing a steak competition, where the judges will bite from because it is considered the best part of the ribeye. For seasoning today, we're going to do a dry brine, and I'm going to use this Killer Hogs brisket rub. It's good on many things, not just brisket, and certainly it'll be good on a thick cut of meat. So we're going to use that today, and I'm just going to liberally season. It would be very difficult to over season this cut of meat just because of how thick it is. So you definitely want to get it good and covered. Going to just press it down there. Again, even if it's called a rub, you're not going to rub it in. I'm going to flip it over and we'll get the other side. Again, get it liberally seasoned. And then I'm going to use what ended up on the board, maybe even add a little bit more to do the sides. And the end cap there. This is so thick, you definitely don't just want to do the larger sides. You want to get the whole thing. There we go. Sorry about my arm being in the way. Again, I'm an amateur videographer at best. All right, I think that's pretty good. So we're going to actually let this dry brine in the refrigerator for probably, I'm guessing it's 10 a.m. right now. I'll probably want to start cooking this around 4 to 5 p.m. So it'll be in there a good 6 hours dry brining. So I'm going to grab this rack here so we can get good airflow all around the ribeye, and we'll just set it there gently. And this is going to go in the fridge just like this for the next 4 to 6 hours. So we will check back with you when we're ready to put this on the cooker. Okay, the cowboy ribeye has been dry brining in the refrigerator now for about 7 hours. I'm going to put it on the Weber Smoke Fire EX6. I have it on smoke boost, so that'll hold temperatures between 165 and 200 and also produce a good amount of smoke. I'm just going to leave this on this rack. It'll make it easier to move around when I want to. I'm just going to put it there. I actually think I'm going to turn this slightly. I'd like the bone to be facing the hotter part of the grill which is dead center. A little off to the right, actually. It's got a hot spot, so I'm going to have the bone facing that way. And then I'm going to add a probe to the meat. We're going to try to get it dead center. Measure it there. There. I feel like I put that in at an angle and I didn't want to do that. There, that feels better. So that's going to be somewhere probably around 40 degrees internal, 40, low 40s. It's going down. It's about 42 degrees internal, which is kind of what I wanted. Some people like to take their beef out and let it come to room temperature. I personally don't like to do that, and frankly don't think it makes a lot of difference. I sort of like more time in the smoke, and I like a little more room to climb before we do something else with it. So we're going to let it sit in there now for however long it takes to get to around 100, between 100 and 110. And then I'll show you. We're going to get the PK 360 going. I'll probably light the charcoal when the piece of meat gets to around 70 degrees, something like that. And we're going to sear it off there and then actually go back to the smoke fire to let it reach the internal temperature that I would like, which is going to be around 128 to 130. So we'll bring you back. Okay, it's been about 30 minutes. The internal temperature of the cowboy ribeye is about 60 degrees and it's climbing reasonably quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and start the charcoal for the searing. I also added a small cast iron pan to the smoker. It's got a half a stick of butter, a little bit of a couple of different kinds of mustard, and some minced garlic. I'm going to let that melt, and we're going to use it to baste the steak later. So we'll close that up and continue to let that go up. And I'm going to go over to my PK 360 grill, and we're going to go ahead and light the chimney. Try to get it in a couple of different places there. All right, that should do. So once that ignites fully, we will get it dumped and get the charcoal grill preheated. It'll get ripping hot actually, and we'll have that ready to sear our cowboy ribeye. So, and I brought a fat tire out. I think I might do the occasional review of a beer. Um, so today it's going to be Fat Tire. If you're not familiar with Fat Tire, it's kind of an amber ale, New Belgium Brewing Company out of Colorado. I have no idea if I'm on camera right now. Um, I've liked Fat Tire for years, so this is not a new beer for me, but it is definitely worth a try. Really good. Very smooth. No bitter aftertaste at all. It's outstanding. So try a Fat Tire. So that is all for now. We'll bring you back as we get closer to our internal temperature of 100 to 110 on our cowboy ribeye. And as we get closer to dumping our charcoal, which will probably be 20, 25 minutes, something like that. All right, we're back. These coals are ready to be dumped, so I'm going to get my gloves on here. Our ribeye is at 82 degrees internal, so I want it to go up another 20 degrees or so. But these coals in this grill will stay hot for a good long time. So I sort of want to notice where the center of the coals are going to be, because I want to know exactly where to put my steak and where to put the grill grate. So looks like just a little right of center, and I'll be able to see, but I just like to make note of that. Now we're going to put our grate on along with the grill grates. There we go. Shoo. A little smoke in the face there. And now I'm going to spray the grates with a little bit of avocado oil. If you don't use avocado oil, it's great. Super high smoke point. I use it all the time for different things. And now we're going to shut this lid and let this heat up. The grill grates are awesome. They're made by a company, I think it's called Grill Grates. You can get them to fit most any grill or generic sizes as well. They get ripping hot, like probably 600 to 700 degrees those will end up being to sear this steak. So if you haven't already seen those, I'd check them out. I'll put a link in the description of this video in case you want to do so. I'm on fat tire number 2, and it's tasting pretty good. It's a shame it's a Sunday night. So let's check out our ribeye real fast. We'll move the camera here. All right, looking pretty good. Fat is starting to render pretty nicely there, real soft. It is at 84 degrees internal. Real quick, I'm gonna stir the sauce I'm making, or the basting butter. Again, just half a stick of butter, some minced garlic, and a couple of different kinds of mustard, just a little bit. It's looking good, and it tastes outstanding. All right, we will bring you back when we're ready to sear off this steak in about 20 degrees. Okay, so I've got a infrared thermometer here that we're going to see how hot we are on the grill grates. I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not. Six hundred, 630 in the center, almost 630. So that's going to give a nice sear on this steak. The ribeye right now is at 95 degrees internal, so probably in about 10 degrees we will move this from the smoker to the grill grates and do probably about a 4-minute sear, I'm guessing, and then we'll finish it back on the Weber smoke fire until it hits probably 128 internal. Okay, we have hit 110 degrees internal. I decided to let it go up to 110. So we're going to sear this bad boy off. So one of the cool things about the grill grates is every order, I believe, comes with a special spatula that works great on them. So I'm going to put this on just like that. We're going to let this go 2 minutes. I'm looking at my watch now. Between 1.5 minutes and 2 minutes. and then we're going to rotate it 90 degrees. I think I'll keep you here for this, at least for the first, until I flip. I'm on fat tire number 3, and this is going to have to be my limit since it's a Saturday night especially. The grill grates under there are really hot, at least 630 degrees. They might have even gotten a little hotter since I ran my infrared at them. The garlic butter mustard sauce is really good. I just tried it a few minutes ago. So I'm going to baste the one side of this steak with it. Matter of fact, I think I'll grab it and get it ready. After I flip, I'll baste, or mop, I should say. Cool thing about this PK grill is the side shelves are heat resistant up to something like 400 or 500 degrees. So that's a really neat feature. If you've never heard of PK grills, I would definitely recommend that you research them. This is the PK 360. It's cast aluminum, so it will last forever. I'll give this to one of my kids. They can be set up as straight up grilling. They can also be set up as a smoker if you close one of the vents on opposite sides. The air intake will take it in one side and push the smoke out the other. So you can have an indirect fire, have the heat on one side, the meat on the other, and it will act as a smoker. So that's pretty cool. And there's some good videos out there of people using the PK. So definitely look into it if it's not something you've heard of. Okay, we're going to turn this 90 degrees. And leave it another 90 seconds. The grill grates really help with flare-ups. There are holes in them, but small and few and far between, so you don't have a ton of problems with fire. Once again, this piece of meat came from Porter Road. I'll put a link in the description. I definitely recommend them. The only thing, if I'm being honest, that we got that we didn't love were brats. Just didn't love the flavor. Everything else, we've always enjoyed it. Their hamburger meat is great. Their ground sausage, breakfast sausage, is awesome. Never had their hot dogs. There are a lot of things we've never had, but we've had quite a few things, and we've liked them every single time. Going to be about another 45 seconds, and we're going to flip this thing over. All right. Look at that. Wow. That looks awesome. So I'm going to use my mop now, along with this sauce that I made, and just drizzle some on the top. And I'm going to do the other side with this same sauce, but I'm going to do it after we put it back on the smoker to get to our target temperature. All right, I'm going to close this to limit the flare-ups. Now's a great time, and I'll probably ask you at the end of the video, but if you could like this video and subscribe to my channel, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm trying to put out a lot of content to start. I'm probably going to have to back that down just because of time, but I'm hoping to put out 1 or 2 videos a week. If there's anything in particular you'd like me to try, I don't mind failing on camera, so I'll do something new maybe. But feel free to put that in the comments. And thanks for tuning in to this video. Okay, I'm going to give this the 90-degree turn. Notice the shape of the grill grate spatula, and it will fit right in between the grill grates and pick up, lift really anything as opposed to scrape. All right, I'm going to pan the camera over back to the Weber smoke fire now because this is going to be about 1 minute or so and it's going to be done. Searing, we're going to put it back on the smoke fire to come up to our target internal temperature of 128 to 130 probably. And I will flip it over to that other side so I can do my uh, mopping with the garlic butter and mustard sauce. And we'll see what that other side looks like. All right, let's bring it over. I'm going to try to put it back in the same position as it was. All right, great sear on that other side as well. And we'll get that temperature probe back in. Try to get it in about the same position. Might have actually even found the same hole. All right, that is going up pretty quickly now. Looks like it is a little less than 120 degrees. So we'll take it up another 10 degrees probably, and then rest it for at least 15 minutes, frankly, until our baked potatoes are done, and then we'll cut in. So I ran out of butter pretty quickly, but we'll get it done here. There we go. All right, we are at 119, so we're creeping up pretty quickly. We'll pull this off in, like I said, 9 or 10 degrees, and I'll bring you back when we get her inside and get ready to cut it. Okay, this is just shy of 130, which is where I want to pull it. So we're going to pull this off. Um, I always use an extra probe. I love my Thermapen. These things are freaking great. Get one if you don't have one. That's showing 136 there, 134 there. So I'm definitely pulling this off. Pull this probe out from the smart fire, or smoke fire, excuse me. I think I'm just going to take the whole tray in. So we will see you inside at cutting here in just a minute. Okay, so we have rested about 10 or 15 minutes, something like that. So we're going to cut this. Everybody's waiting to eat here at my house, so let's see what we got. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just cut this bone off. Looks really good. So here's the spinalis here at the top, which is one of my favorite parts. I think we're going to reserve that for my bite, my on-camera bite. And then I think we'll just start slicing. Super tender. Color is perfect. Now I'm going to cut this whole thing because I think we're going to eat it tonight. We got 4 hungry people. When you have a bigger piece of meat than you're going to use, though, you're best not to cut it all. Leave part of it whole. You can always slice more later if you are eating more than you think you would. I'm really happy with this, and by the way, it smells outstanding. Color is absolutely spot on the way we like it. I could take it just a little more rare, but everybody else probably likes it a little more done, so I can handle this, and it's good. Looks great. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cut up this piece of the spinalis here. That's going to be so good. Okay, so I'm going to raise the camera up. Hopefully I'll be in this shot. We'll see. Okay, I think I'm going to try this piece first. That's outstanding. The quality of the Porter Road beef is amazing. The seasoning is perfect, giving a little bit of that garlic and butter sauce I made. I'm going to try one more bite here. That is top 5 steaks I've ever made in my life. That is so good. So get yourself a cowboy ribeye from Porter Road. Smoke it for a while, sear it off, smoke it again. You'll be very happy. Thanks for tuning in to Buckeye Barbecue. As usual, I would ask you the favor of liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Thanks so much for tuning in.